And there's certain easier things like asking God, spending time, giving up your time, asking God for more patience, more love, asking God to be more kind. Like you're giving up, you're identifying certain things in yourself. You're giving up your time, and you're asking God, help me be more patient, help me be more loving. I want to love others so that I could be in you. I want to love others so that I can love you, so that I can remain in you. So there's certain things like be patient, be more kind, more self-control. The fruits that we looked at last week from Galatians 5. But what about the harder stuff? Like laying down your life for others. For some of us, that may look like having those hard conversations with the people around us, whether Christian or non-Christian. See, one of the things that amazes me about and disappoints me at times about me, and if you identify with this, take it with you also, is there's certain people, there's certain areas that like we hide our Christianity. We kind of hide the name of Jesus. We kind of like we don't deny him, but we don't lift him up. We don't what was that? Don't proclaim. You don't let it be known like you're a Christian. Perhaps at work it's like they know you don't cuss. They know they know you don't go to parties. You have homework all the time. But they never know that the reason behind all that, behind all your decisions, behind your obedience, is because of Christ. Is because you want to be obedient to him. Those conversations that we never have with our cousins, those conversations that we never have with the people at work, with the people we work out with. We have some gym people in here, with the people at school. Those conversations that we never have because we're scared that if we have them, it's going to affect our lives. It might affect our relationship. It might affect the way we're viewed, how much we're invited back to this group or to certain people. So, like, my challenge to you is, again, going back to the question is, are you willing to lay your life down? Are you willing to say, it's not about me? Are you willing to say, I don't matter? Again, when we accept Christ, when we're baptized, it's like a sign of dying and letting Christ live in you. So, like, are you willing to say, it's not about me, I don't matter? If I have this conversation with this person, if it affects our relationship, it's not about me, it's about them. I need to present this to them. If it's a Christian that's living in sin, and they don't know it, or they don't really realize the severity of it, and God's been putting in your heart, approach them, and you don't want to do it because you're a little bit too shy, you're a little bit embarrassed, you don't know how to respond, they won't hang out with you anymore. I believe Jesus it demonstrated for us what we should do. Give up your life. Be willing to push yourself aside, push that aside, and say, I'm going to have this conversation. But again, with love. If it's a non-Christian, being able to lay down your wanting to be liked, lay down your wanting to fit in, and be able to have these conversations. Again, it's all tactful. You can't just go up and slap someone with the Bible and you say, like, you can't like do that. Like, I'm not saying do that. You might actually die for real. So like I'm not saying that. This to me is I'll get away from my nose for a little bit. This to me is such an important concept in the Bible, and it's hard for me to explain, if you guys can't tell. It's hard for me to explain this concept because it's like, all right, God, so love everyone. Like, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I love my neighbors? How, God, I want to remain in you. God, I want to be in you. I want to love the way you loved. How do I do that? And again, I've been asking myself this question, but there's people around you that you could help. There's people around you that you could love on. There's people around you that need the message of salvation. There's people around you that just need to be listened to. There's people around you that you gotta forgive. There's people around you that just need to be loved. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not right now. I'm definitely not being the clearest. And this is weird for me because right now I'm realizing a bunch of things I'm messing up on. Ask God. Remain in love. Remain in the vine. And God will show you the areas where you need to be more loving. First of all, you need to be willing to lay down your life. Willing to love as Jesus loved. And He's going to show you. But you gotta act. And again, Jesus says, ask for whatever. Ask for whatever, and it will be given to you. Okay, because He wants you to be fruitful, because it gives glory to the Father. So if you're asking God, show me where I need to be more loving, He'll show you. If you're asking God, give me the fruit, more patience, so that I could be more loving to this annoying roommate, or to this person, or to this other person, He'll give it to you. One other point that I skipped over a little bit here, but I really want to make an emphasis on. Are you willing to give up your life? Say it's not about me. In other words, are you willing to live in holiness? Live the way God says? Because one of the biggest drawbacks to Christianity from non-Christians is they look at Christians' life and they see the same thing. They're looking in a mirror. They might even be worse off. Like when they're seeing someone who says, I'm a Christian, but they're not producing fruit. They're not in the vine. Like they're not reflecting the light of God. It's not attractive. It's hypocrisy. No one's attracted to hypocrisy. My challenge to you is, with this topic of holiness, again, ask God to show you which areas in your life you need to give to Him. Which areas in your life, which areas in your lifestyle is hurting the people around you. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I have a mouth like no other. Yeah, that's hurting the people around you. That's not loving them. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but when they steal, I steal too. Yeah, that's not loving on them. That's hurting them. Like, yeah, I'm a Christian as long as you're nice to people, but when you say something to me, we're getting down. Like, I'm gonna get in your face. Like that's not loving them. That's hurting them. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I don't even spend time in the Word. I don't even spend time in prayer. I don't even really know much about what I believe, but I'm a Christian. That's not loving them. That's hurting them, because when they ask you, what do you believe? When they ask you, so wait, God, what is this? Talk to me about it. You're like, I don't know. Come talk to this person. We got to be able to give up our lives, focus our time, focus our intentions on others. Like this again is the essence, a big part of, if not the biggest part of being a Christian. Because again, we can't love God unless we love others. So we need to ask God to show us how to love others. And again, if you ask me, what's in it for me? Like, why is this so important? Yeah, it's important too. Like, it's a big theme in the Bible. Yeah, it's important in Scripture. But what's in it for me? Like, what do I get out of it? The Bible teaches that when we obey his command of loving others, we remain in him. By remaining in him, we produce fruit. By remaining in him, we could ask for whatever, and it will be given to us. By remaining in him, he puts his joy in us, makes our joy complete, no matter through the sufferings, the hardships, the trials in life, we find joy. That's why it's worth it. That's why it's so important to ask God. God, show me how to love others. God, show me how to love others as you have loved me. I by no means, covered it all. By no means gave you a formula on how to give up your life, because that's all individual, that's all independent. When you see yourself beginning to think about others first, others' needs, others' desires over yourself, you're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. But if right now it's still all about me, if right now it's still all about my life, all about where I want to go, all about what I want to do, it'll be very hard to convince myself that I'm loving others the way Christ loved us. So what I want you to take from this is the opportunity to be the friend of Jesus, to continue the work that Jesus left for us. And that is to learn how to love others as Jesus loved us. To learn how to give up your life as Jesus gave up his life for us.